Donnie Kite's gonna get through it all and score his first career win in the Saturday Night Racing League Cup Series. What a finish!
Too little, too late from behind, and Sebastian Marin, your first repeat top split winner of the qualifying series.
He knew it was just a matter of time when Hunter Sr. is victorious.
Josh Adams taking the win at Iowa.
GC Spider Motorsports takes home the 1-2-3 finish.
Good evening, race fans, and welcome to Mid-Ohio Sports Car Course, one of America's classic natural terrain road circuits, where tonight the field takes on a lap that's all about flow, patience, and precision. Opened in 1962, Mid-Ohio has built its reputation as one of the most competitive road courses in the United States, with a layout that never really lets drivers relax. It's the track where every section leads directly into the next. You've got the run into the keyhole, the commitment through the S's, the plunge into the Thunder Valley, and then that long technical final sequence that punishes even the smallest mistake. Mid-Ohio is not just about raw speed, it's about linking the lap together cleanly and carrying momentum without overdriving the car. Thank you very much for joining us, everybody. Thank you very much for staying tuned. This is a West Coast Sim Racing League brought to you by V-Speed. Tonight's sponsor is going to be VehicleBuyers.com for all your vehicle purchasing needs. Look no further than VehicleBuyers.com. Halfway through the championship already, we have Okayama Brands Hatch, Stockton Ring, and Charlotte Roval to round out the championship through the end of May. But we started this not so long ago, back in March. It's been a long time coming, but 12 points separates the 1, 2, 3 right now in that order. Jeremy Fletcher, Stone Colby, and Nico Colby. Soda Colby in P4, Marvin Semeo in P5, Edwin Onofre in 6, Brandon Birch, Connor T. Cunningham, Kyle Domark, Warren Johnson round out that top 10. Alex Andre tied actually for 9, 10, 11 with Kyle Domark and Warren Johnson with 45 points. Joe Rainey, Colton Juarez, Christian James, Sean Stan the Stanman, Tana Greta, Rizkov, Thompson, Mishnik, and Barnett will round out the top 20. Hello, time for Timbo. Thank you very much for letting me know. Appreciate it. Head over trackside as we get drivers ready to rumble. And as we get ready to go behind the safety car, we wait patiently. Time for Timbo says, my undefeated DNF streak is still safe. Oh, good luck with that one. And it's green, green, green here for West Coast Sim Racing at Mid-Ohio. They'll be side by side, headed down in towards turn one. A little bit of a wiggle there from the 22 and the 16. The Copeland Motorsports badge driver there trying to get their elbow out. Colby leads Fletcher over the 2-3-5, then Birch, Cunningham, Samayoa, and then further back, Rainey, James, Juarez, Johnson, Andreu, Tanagretta, Colby, and then Rizkov. Beautiful golden hour here in Lexington, Ohio. And Fletcher snatches away the lead for now. Single file line. Fletcher, Colby, Birch, Schwenker, Samayoa, Cunningham, Rainey, James, Juarez, Johnson, Andreu, Colby, Tanagretta, and Rizkov. A little bit of a mistake further back to Marvin Samayoa. And Joe Rainey is going to try to get his elbow out for a little bit. There goes a big move for the lead between Fletcher and Nico Colby. Flinching there, switch back for the lead, the 16 over the 22. Trying to get that executed down the run of the hill we go. Beautifully executed attempted overtake there from Nico Colby. On board with the 16 now. Gets on the loud pedal. Out of the final corners, down the front stretch we go towards turn 2. Side by side into the keyhole now between Colby and Fletcher. It's gonna be tight, but Fletcher still manages to hold on. Birch waiting in the wings behind for any opportunity to open up for himself. Joe Rainey and Marvin Samayoa here. no, big moment there for Brandon Birch. Oh no, that's going to send him to the back of the pack. Let's see if we can get a replay of what happened here. This is going to be what happened to the 36. Keep an eye on him there in the middle. And the car just gets loose and he gets a tank slapper, recovers it, but then gets drifty with it for the following corner. Up ahead, Fletcher the Copeland Motorsports driver, and it'll be Nico Colby, another Copeland Motorsports driver making his debut at COTA this weekend. Side by side between the pair of GR86 drivers. Down the back stretch, into the keyhole. Fletcher still leads over Colby, but for how long can this duo keep this up before they really wear down their tires? Schwenker behind now in third place since we've lost Birch. He's fallen back to P14. The door opens up just ajar for Nico, and he looked to insert his GR86 car in that sized gap. Coming down the front stretch. Big moves down the stretch. In defense for the 22. Switch back for the 16, but I think Fletcher is exactly where he wants to be for the following corner. Having the inside run for the keyhole now. He's going to force the 16 the long way around the outside and then park it on the apex. Forcing the 16 the long way around the outside might give him the run down through the kink of turn 3 and in towards turn 4 and turn 5. It'll be a Fletcher Colby Schwenker battle. '22 again parking it on the apex of these corners, and a little stretch of straightaway in the middle of the track before we get to the carousel. That's Thunder Valley. Back up through turn 11, the carousel of turn 12. Drivers have to be extremely patient there before we get down to turn 13 and jettison down the start-finish straight yet again. On board with Colby now as we look at the rear end of the 22. Locked in an epic battle right now. Again, the run down to the keyhole. A big squeeze side by side between the duo. Schwenkler, excuse me, in the 235 behind has caught up to Fletcher and Colby now. And so has Marvin Samayoa. Back in P4. Connor T. Cunningham in the 502. Just sitting back about a half second from Samayoa right now. Side by side between Colby and Fletcher again. It's just going to be a repeat of what we saw earlier until Fletcher makes a critical mistake and opens the door for Colby to walk through. Eight moves again from Colby onto Fletcher. Whoa, no, that's Connor T. Cunningham. Let's get a replay of what happened here to Cunningham. Oh, and he was touched there by Joe Rainey, it looks like. That'll send Cunningham to the back of the pack. And he'll have a lot of work and ground to make up once we get to the competition caution. Colby no longer looking forward, but looking in his rearview mirror. Robert Swankler is there in the 235, ready to attack. Feel like he's let the Copeland Motorsports driver have his fun with Fletcher. Now it's his turn to throw his elbows out. Unless Colby isn't too pleased about that. Might try to go around Schwenkler. Darren Colby in a good battle here with Michael Tanagretta, the 845 right up ahead with Igor Rizkov behind, and Brandon Burch 1.3 seconds back from this battle. Coming down through turn one. Ton of room given and respect between the 47 and the 845. The Castrol badge car is going to be Tanagretta there. Up the inside at keyhole goes Tanagretta. Christian James behind Joe Rainey. Warren Johnson in the number 24 in 7th place. There goes a glance, it looks like, from Nico Colby on Schwenkler. That's all it was a glancing blow. What's definitely spicing up here as Colby gets a little impatient by the looks of it, sitting behind Schwenkler. Fletcher with a big slide. That'll lose him a ton of time. And Schwenkler has an opportunity to go around the outside at turn number 1 and take the lead of the race, but he doesn't take it. He tries to go for a switchback on Fletcher, but right now it'll be Colby trying to challenge Schwenkler. Up the inside in defense, follows Fletcher through 2 of Keyhole. Now boxes in the Copeland Motorsports driver of Nico Colby as best as possible, preventing him from getting a run, but he's now boxed in the middle. And there goes a 3 wide situation coming down the back stretch into turn 4 and turn 5. Timbo asks, any favorites to win here? Says Colby is the GOAT. Well, which Colby are you talking about? Because we have a few of them on the grid. And I think my favorite's always going to be Jeremy Fletcher. He's going to be my favorite to win the championship, of course. Great battle is here. Great battle pack back here as well. Between Christian James, Joe Rainey, Warren Johnson, Colin Juarez, and Alexei Andreu. Tanagretta in the Castrol badge car with Igor Rizkov in the Castrol badge car as well. 845 in the 333. The Colby up front right now, he says. Nico Colby. Because there's always Nico Slater Stone. Up the hill and back down through turn 6. And now go through the S's. Travis Fletcher cheering on Jeremy Fletcher. Jeremy Fletcher has been leading from the word go tonight. He's had the challenge of Nico Colby behind him, who's back up into P2. Robert Schwenkler in P3 had his opportunity to strike, but couldn't quite capitalize on the mistake from Fletcher, leading down in towards turn 1. Marvin Semioa now in the mix as well. In the background here, looking at Keyhole. (22) leads the 16. And now the competition caution will come out almost any second now to neutralize the race. And I wonder what that's going to mean for the drivers further back, who may have been preserving their tires a little bit better than this battle pack that we're looking at right now. Too far back to make a move from Nico on Fletcher. Fletcher leaving the door open ajar. Definitely inviting the opportunity for the 16 to send it late on the brakes. Take a look back here at Warren Johnson, Joe Rainey, and Christian James for just a few moments. This is another battle pack of 5 cars running nose to tail right now. And there it is. The competition caution comes out to neutralize the race, folks. Jeremy Fletcher, Nico Colby, Robert Swankler, Marvin Samayoa, Joe Rainey, Warren Johnson, Christian James, Colton Juarez, Alexei Andreu, Brandon Birch, Igor Rizkov, Carson Cunningham, Michael Tanagretta, and Darren Colby round out the 14 drivers here tonight. We'll take a quick commercial break and we'll be right back, folks. Don't go anywhere.
Trade for bananas?
Bananas? No thanks. Are you tired of lowball offers and no-shows? Here at VehicleBuyers.com, we make it fast and easy to sell your vehicle. Enter your vehicle information into our website and receive an offer for your vehicle. Our competitive offers ensure that you get the best deal possible. If you're ready to sell your vehicle, click the link below.
VehicleBuyers.com. Visit us today. Having trouble outfoxing the deals and the competition getting you all flustered? Time to be sly and visit Overstockvehicles.com. We have over 600 vehicles available for sale monthly, all at dealer pricing. Overstockvehicles.com. Visit us today.
Donnie Kite's gonna get through it all and score his first career win in the Saturday Night Racing League Cup Series. What a finish!
Too little, too late from behind, and Sebastian Marin, your first repeat top split winner of the qualifying series.
We knew it was just a matter of time when Hunter Sr. is victorious.
Josh Adams taking the win at Iowa.
GC Spider Motorsports takes home the 1-2-3 finish.
And we're back, folks. Lights are out on the safety car. am ready to take the green flag here for the second time tonight, folks. And it's green, green, green for the second time, and Fletcher has a great slingshot on Nico Colby. Colby further back. I think he'd like to be right now. Looking at the pack, it's all green and clean coming through Keyhole. Side by side for Connor Cunningham and Alexe Andre. Brandon Birch making up moves on Colton Juarez right up in front. With the door just a little bit open, I think the 16 could have probably taken a lick of the stamp and sent it on the 22 there at turn 5. Fletcher and Colby continue their battle. And more late flinches in the braking zones as the two drivers get accustomed to driving on the absolute limit of these GR86 Cup cars. Pushing each other along through the corners. Colby gives a little bit of a nudge to Fletcher at the apex. Flashy of the headlights from the 16 to the 22, telling him to get the hurry up and go on. This will be the final kink in the track before we get down to the front stretch. Side by side, a little bit of bump and run there from Colby to Fletcher. That's going to open the door for Schwenkler. Gonna get alongside the 16 and challenge him now. Marvin Semioa sees the kink in the armor and wants to expose that wound on the 16. Big wiggles there from Fletcher coming over the crest, but he manages to hold on Colby. And the run from Fletcher on Colby. Shaking things up quite a bit now. $14.50 remaining on the clock. Let me know in the comments who you think is going to come out on top at the end of this morning here in Ohio. Samayoa on the attack. On the outside run, 2x2. Opportunities are open. Samayoa can't get it quite there. Joe Rainey now in the mix as well. The first 5, all within a second now. 8 drivers within 2 seconds of the leader currently. Who's got the better run through the first corner? Looks like everybody is equally matched, but Marvin Samayoa potentially losing ground to the drivers ahead. Travis Fletcher not even cheering for his own blood. A little bit of a bump there from Schwenkler and the 16 of Colby. Oh, and a bump there into Schwenkler. He gets spun back around in the right direction, but now he's going to get a touch from Joe Rainey as well. Marvin Samayoa gets jacked up in all of that. Touches up ahead for the lead, and Colby cuts the track. Colby cuts the track, sends him back into P3, and he's lucky that's all that did for him. Now Robert Schwenkler has his opportunity to duke it out with Fletcher. A little bit of help from Nico Colby behind. A bump draft given to the 235. Now into the braking zone. It'll be a lick of the stamp and ascend from the 235 on Fletcher. The overlap wasn't quite there. The move wasn't 100% on. Schwenkler closed down the gap significantly between himself and Jeremy Fletcher, out in the lead of the race. The Copeland Motorsports drivers sandwiching Schwenkler in now. Schwenkler to the outside at turn 1. No, Timbo, you can have a Schwenkler on Colby. 235 with a crazy drift. I'm not sure if he was touched there by the 16, but able to recover his car once, but not lucky enough to do so twice. And that'll be a instantaneous return to pit lane. Nose to tail between the two drivers going to the final 8.5 minutes of this battle. Mid-Ohio is definitely a short course track at only 2.4 miles long. Drivers are putting in 1:33s. What's crazy is that Fletcher can still defend and not be slow. Nobody else is catching them as they touch. That's going to hip check the 16 off into oblivion. And let's get a replay of that one, folks. They're going to come through the kink side by side, and then just a small touch there. That's all it took. Sending the 16 back. He's now going to have to duke it out with Colton Juarez, Igor Rizkov, and Colby ahead. Darren Colby now in the mix with Christian James right in front. Number 93 driver. Battles for position stay relatively calm going into the final 5. Ooh, Travis Fletcher says Jeremy should be penalized. What do you think about that, Timbo? Side by side between Brandon Birch, who's on an amazing recovery drive, and Marvin Semioa here. Whoa, no, and Birch with a big wiggle. Hip check galore, and that's going to send him around with Darren Colby. Battle between Joe Rainey and Jeremy Fletcher now. Get a replay of what happened here. And the Copeland Motorsports driver just makes a brief mistake, goes a little too wide. I think that'll give him a slow down penalty, and he'll have to give the time back. Joe Rainey ends up getting the position back. Now Rainey's the one making mistakes, going a little bit too deep and wide. Marvin Semioa with a great drive tonight with 2 minutes left to go, up into P3 for now. But look who it is, back in action, ready to fight all over again. It's Nico Colby. Semioa defends the inside line. Colby tries to switch things up on the number 97. And Connor T. Cunningham with a great drive up in the 502 into 5th place. Barney's waving that white flag furiously. That will mean it's going to be the last lap for all the drivers. Fletcher leads down in towards Keyhole. Rainey in P2. Semioa holding on to 3rd for now. Colby in 4th. Cunningham in 5th. Drivers bobbing, weaving every which way, trying to get an advantage, just like the 16 of Nico Colby on Marvin Semioa. The switchback was there. Can anyone challenge Joe Rainey now? Nico Colby right behind. It will be Fletcher taking the checkered flag. P2 going the way of Joe Rainey. Nico Colby in third. Semioa in fourth. Fifth going to Connor T. Cunningham. Sixth for Christian James. Seventh for Colton Juarez. Eighth for Alexei Andreu. Igor Rizkov, Tana Greta rounding out your top 10. Fletcher took the win in front of Joe Rainey by 0.8 of a second. Nico Colby in third, Marvin Semio in fourth, Conti Cunningham in fifth, Christian James, Colton Juarez, Alexei Andreu, Igor Rizkov, Michael Tanagretta, Darren Colby, Warren Johnson, Brandon Birch, and Schwenkler rounding out the 14 participants. And let's go ahead and get our drivers in for their interviews. And we'll go ahead and talk to our race winner first. And we'll go the way of Jeremy Fletcher, number 22, who had a hard fought battle with the number 16 pretty much all race long. Talk to us about your race, Jeremy.
Yeah, just really wanted to lead every lap, came out. Not a big fan of this place. Definitely tricky, especially with the setup, and as most of us were struggling with getting loose or the car being tight. So head held high, stay at the front, control the field, make Nico sit behind me like a good boy per usual, and just race my race.
It worked out well. Now, what's the key to being fast while being able to defend at the same time, Jeremy? It was a sight to see that you were able to keep back the 16 while also not lose a tremendous amount of time.
Yeah, I mean, I think it comes with experience, but just being able to control the field, conserve your tires, really focus on still squaring everything off, getting that drive off the corner is big. Even if you lose on exit or entry, focusing on the exit speed definitely is a massive thing to keep those lap times similar to what you're doing race pace wise. But yeah, I think it just comes with experience.
Makes a lot of sense. Anybody you'd like to shout out or anybody you'd like to thank on the victory tonight?
Whole JFR Esports crew, Warren for putting on this league, the Colby family, the Rainey family, you for the broadcast especially. Old man Joe really gave me a run for my money tonight. Those last couple laps had me sweating. And yeah, just everyone that really puts this together. It's been awesome coming out here week in and week out.
Yeah, it's awesome. Thank you very much for showing up and supporting West Coast Sim Racing, Jeremy. Have a great night, brother, and stay safe.
Yes, sir, of course. Thank you.
And we'll talk to, I guess, it's old man Joe Rainey next, who came back in P2, the number 17. Now, Joe, you kind of came out of nowhere in the final couple of minutes of the race. Were you saving something in the fuel tank? Was there some nitrous under the hood? What was it that drove you to P2 tonight?
It was more of people making mistakes in front of me than anything, but you have to still be there, I guess.
Absolutely. You have to be there when the opportunities present themselves. Now, in your perspective, how did Mid-Ohio fare with these cars, this car track combo? It looked like a lot of fun, especially going through the roller coaster sections with the elevation changes here. Watching the cars get unsettled a little bit, but not out of control, looked like a lot of fun.
It was definitely fun. The setup I had was way too loose, so Mid-Ohio just doesn't seem to have very good grip. So yeah, it definitely makes for, I mean, quite frankly, a lot of mistakes. And,
Yeah.
it's just trying to capitalize on that and quite honestly, staying in bounds basically, which was tough.
Yeah, it looked like it for sure. Now, Joe, anybody you want to shout out or anybody you want to thank on the podium tonight?
Yeah, so I want to thank West Coast Sim Racing and Warren for putting this on. I'd like to thank you for doing a great job on the broadcast. Thank Jeremy for the coaching, it's making me faster. And then also Rainy Homes Racing and Apex Motor Club.
Right on. And hopefully, well, for Jeremy's sake, he doesn't give you too much coaching. Otherwise, he'll have some more competition. And we'll talk to that competition next. Nico Colby, who's now Copeland Motorsports driver and driver of the number 16. Nico, talk to us about your race and the rise, the fall, and the rise back to the podium again.
Yeah, it's definitely a fun race. Just overall is mostly the car setup, just getting that thing dialed in, just trying to make it as good as I can here. There's not a lot of grip here, like Joe said, so just trying to get that car set up.
Well, the car setup looked pretty dialed in, and it looked like it was pretty consistent as well as we watch you and Jeremy Fletcher go toe-to-toe through some of the hairiest parts of the track. How were you able to stay that consistent while trying to challenge out for P1 throughout this race?
Yeah, I was just definitely just trying to do the high lows on him, just trying to get as much of a run you can out of the car, maybe taking up some on the entry to gain on the exit, and just try to keep up with him. And eventually I did, but it just wasn't enough.
Unfortunately, it wasn't, Nico, but a great try nonetheless. Anybody you'd like to shout out or anybody you'd like to thank on this heroic podium tonight?
Yeah, you obviously for the broadcast, Warren for the league, JFR Esports, Jodo, everyone that helps with the league, everyone that shows up day in and day out.
Absolutely. Thank you very much, Nico, for supporting West Coast Sim Racing, and good luck at COTA this weekend.
Thank you.
And last but not least, we're going to talk to Warren Johnson. Drum roll, please.
How we doing, Sagar?
Living the dream. Warren, you started in 12th. Looks like you came back in 12th at the end of the day. Talk to us about your race.
Well, dude, I had an awesome race. That was the most fun. That was probably the best, if not the second best race of the year for me. And just, got taken out by some stupid maneuver, and that was it.
At one point, you were up in like P5, right?
Yeah, I was fighting for the podium with the top 5 guys because the 2 in front of me, one of them did a bad move, and then from there I got taken out after that in the aftermath of that incident, and so be it. So I was gonna get third. Well, Nico was kind of hard charging too, so I don't know if that would have happened, but I was gonna be up there. So it's always fun for me when I'm up there, but sometimes it's just not your night, and that's okay.
And Marvin Samayoa there as well. You would have had to fight him off.
Yeah, that because possibly the reason I wasn't up there. So we'll have to take a look at that in the race review. But
well,
that's okay.
For another time then, Warren.
Yeah. But
any announcements for the league? I know you have some happenings going on with Apex Motor Club. Is that official yet?
Yes, yeah. So big announcement. We are hosting now the Apex Motor Club MX5 series. It's going to be their series still. Nothing really changes, but I'll be kind of hosting them. So, we'll make a session for them and everything, and that's going to be a great time with them, and they're a great group of guys. And they have an awesome MX5 sim racing series as well as a real life series, which Nico Colby just won, by the way, the championship for their season out there in the real life MX5 Cup car. So congrats to him. And then another big congrats to him in his first pro race coming up this weekend at COTA in the GR Cup series. I'm so happy for that kid. I've watched his, racing career for the last, 3-4 years now. I think we've known each other, me and that whole family. So This is a monumental occasion for him, and we're very proud of him and very happy for him. So congrats to him for that, and good luck to him in that race, as well as Jeremy and all the other people racing in that. Hopefully have a good, clean race. And then one more congrats to Joe Rainey for getting on the podium. His old ass finally got up here. Nah, he's awesome, man. So good race from him. He was ripping tonight. And unfortunate for Birch too. He was having a great race until that happened. So but anyways, no, yeah. So be looking forward to the Apex series. It's going to be on Wednesday nights, as always. We're still working out the details a little bit, but yeah, happy to announce that. And Sagar, I hope you had a good time tonight. We appreciate you broadcasting as always, and we'll see you Thursday.
We will see you Thursday. Thank you very much, Warren Johnson, as always, here on behalf of West Coast Sim Racing.
You're welcome, man. Have a good night.
You too, brother. Thank you, everybody, for joining. Thank you very much for staying tuned. It's been a pleasure to take you from green to checkered flag. As always, I'm your host, Sagar Bakshi, on behalf of V-Speed. It's been a pleasure to take you from green to checkered flag, but all good things have to come to an end, and so shall this, unfortunately. Have a great night, and as always, make sure you stay safe out there. Goodbye for now.